Today marks 1362nd day process of learn and continue to learn with you. I hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about cars. And I will share why I want to speak about cars today, and driving cars specifically. Is that I was driving to a store today and I saw in front of me in the highway two cars was merging in exactly the same line. And of course, they collide. And it's interesting that one drive was very cautiously going, other was very fast, and it was not a big accident, but still, like, it's dangerous activity. And I was thinking about driving, and I think that in life, we're driving cars. But at the same time, we're driving our own life. And then I think that driving a car and driving your own life, is very, very similar. I was thinking about analogy, okay, what are the similarities between driving a car and driving your life? And today we'll look into similarities between driving a car and driving your life. So number one is that you are a driver. You are in control. Now, of course, that means that you carry responsibility of driving the car. Like for example, those two people, their own responsibility that they collide. They're not able to really blame someone else, even though that they probably will do. Why the person didn't look into it? Why other person didn't look into it? But now, why didn't you look at it? You had a chance to really control your own car and not smash into some other person. I think that we need to understand that we need to be on control, our direction, our decisions, because we have a chance to really blame other people that our own car smashed somewhere, that we collide, where we stopped and we're not supposed to be. I think that is again part of our life to be able to say that I'm in control of my life and I need to be careful where I'm going. I need to look around to make sure that where I'm going is the right place. Because otherwise, if you're not careful, we could potentially crash. And that's very, very important to understand that you are the driver. I think that one thing is that very, very common that, like, Tesla now is creating a lot of autonomous cars that cars are able to drive by themselves. But I think that people sometimes live for a long, long time with cars that doesn't have a driver. Well, if you do a life, there is no driver. Or maybe in that car, the driver is society, is family members. Because I think that some people driving their own car in life and trying to drive other people's cars as well. And we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to allow that. We are owning our own car. This is our own life. We have only one life. So we're not supposed to give away that on our own life. That's the most important thing, that we have our own life. And I think we need to really take ownership of our direction and our decisions. I think that that's when we carry too much other people. I think that potentially could be wrong direction. That means that when we really start to take ownership of our wheel, we need to understand that what that wheel is directed, what is guiding that wheel, because we need to really go to somewhere. And what that means that we need to understand that we have values, beliefs, goals that really guides your path, because you will need to turn one way or another. Every single time there's a lot of times there's corners, there's things that we're able to turn. And your turns will look at, do you want to go straight? Do you want to turn right? Do you want to turn left? Do you want to maybe do 180 degrees? And based on your values, because sometimes when you go in life, you realize that you are going to the totally wrong direction. And you need to make a decision. Keep going where you're going, or you need to turn around. And sometimes we need to really say that, okay, there's a lot of sunk costs. I spend a year, 2 years, 5 years going to one direction, but I realized that that direction was wrong. And now I probably will need to drive a little bit faster, or maybe I will need to go better, because now at least I know where I'm going. And sometimes we need to turn things around based on the values, beliefs, and mindset that we have built, and we have more wisdom and experience, and we have clarity that allows to really steer our wheel of life better this time. Gas pedal is probably one of the most important things, a part of the car as well. And gas pedal is equal action. I think that the more consistently you press the pedal, the faster you're able to go. Like, you're not able to really, when you think about going very, very fast, you're not thinking that press pedal, release, gas, press pedal, and release. In competition, when you're going between troubles, that might be in the case when you need to really release a little bit that pedal. But if you're going that straight, you have a clarity. At some point, you just need to press the pedal and go as fast as you can. And I think that's again, we need to really be consistent, press the pedal, build the momentum, and not be afraid to take action. Now, at the same time, we need to understand that break is essential, especially when you are in competition in life, in business in life, in making things happen. Because break is a lot of times reflection or pause. And that means that when you press the pedal action, you're moving fast, but at the same time, if you do not reflect, if you do not reflect on your mistakes and do a pause, most likely will keep repeating the same things over and over again. So that means sometimes we need to press the pedal, take a lot of action, and then press the brake. Let it reflect, okay, what's working, what doesn't work, what need to change, and based on that, we're able to really press the pedal. And sometimes we need to adjust our wheel to turn right, to turn left, go straight, just to ensure that we have the clarity necessary, always have the necessary speed. Because sometimes you know exactly how to go to, like, for example, you go from one city to another city. And you know that you know the path, 50% of the path, you know exactly how to do. And there are sometimes 50% you have no idea how to do. So sometimes after 50, after 50% of the journey, you will slow down because you do not have the clarity. Sometimes you stop and really understand how to do the next 50% will be the most effective thing because you're able to go fast. Now, mirrors of the car is essential as well. And I think that is again awareness, looking back sometimes where you came from. I think that sometimes is a great thing because looking back is giving you that necessary understanding where you came from. I think that is it's very rarely needable, and sometimes when you're able to look at maybe there's someone is coming to you that to help, maybe bypass you. That's totally fine. Maybe if someone is driving too fast, of course, allow them to do what they need to do. And sometimes when they're supposed to do something in comparison, oh, like such a driver, such a fast driver, and I think that we can look into other people and start to even compare. Oh, like he's driving faster than me. No, like we don't care about other person who's driving. We care about how fast we're able to drive. And then again, this is how comfortable are we driving in that speed? Because this is again part of the comfort of the speed, comfort of the growth, comfort of the taking actions, all the things. And life exactly like in cars. Some people go faster because they're not afraid. They got comfortable. They've been in business for a longer time. So that means they are willing to step on that pedal and take more actions because they're not afraid to crash. And I think that sometimes people who have been in a, like not a bad crash, sometimes they know that it's not as bad and they're not afraid to really crash. I know some people who are good drivers, amazingly good drivers, and they've been in crash, and it seems that they still not afraid to drive, and that even gave them even sometimes even more confidence. I think in life, when you have achieved great success and you lost business and you failed, that crash in life sometimes even gives more confidence that you're able to really survive, you're able to have that resilience, resourcefulness, all the things necessary to really make things happen. And sometimes that mirrors that awareness of the past is a good option. GPS, vision for the plan. And the GPS is interesting thing because I love that how GPS works. In GPS, you need to really dictate where you want to go, so destination. Then you need to say where you're at right now, and of course, that must create a plan. And I think in life is very important the same way. So we need to understand where we're gonna go, where we are, and then we create a plan to get there. That's just very simple rule, but I think that's very important. Other thing that about driving that I think is very similar to life is obstacles, and that is challenges. That when you're driving and you know exactly this is how it's supposed to go, but you look at you go to the main street, you see the sign, and sign that says that there is route to different direction. That means that that road is blocked. Will not be blocked forever, but for now, when you are going through that street, that is blocked. That means you need to go other streets. That probably is slower. You can potentially wait and potentially in the future maybe will open, maybe not. So what you do at that moment? Or you get, or you stop and wait and you go to coffee shop and hoping for the best. I think that's again the choice that every single person wants because roadblocks, detours, stores will come. And we need to adapt and we need to really change the path and really to understand, okay, how much do I need to really remove myself from the path that I could really get it back into the path in the right way? That I don't lean too much out of the path to get back into the path. Because I think that's very important to understand that those roadblocks will be all the time. The things that we thought it will work doesn't, and that's why we need to submit those detours. Now, fuel. And fuel is probably the most essential thing. Without fuel, there's nowhere to go because the car doesn't move. The beautiful car, beautiful engine, very strong engine. There's no fuel, no movement. Stuck in a. So that means you need to have that energy and purpose. And I always said that the most important thing in life is energy. Time doesn't matter, money doesn't matter. If you are laying down in bed, it doesn't matter that you have money. It doesn't matter how have time. What matters is energy. That means you always need to really understand that we will need to stop. We'll need to stop and recharge. So that means that we need to really do, like, it depends on every single person, but let's say that meditation. Exercise is every single person. We need to fuel with food. We need to fuel with great information. So that means that what it'll elevates our energy. Those things needs to be done in our lives. Connecting, solitude. And then again, every single person needs to sit down and ask, what is elevating my energy? What is recharging me? Because what is reaching one person could potentially not reach another. So this is a very individualistic thing. The next one I think is very important is passengers. And this is relationships. Who do you allow in your car? Because if you do not allow the right people, that journey could be very, very, very grim. When you're not able to really drive with the joy, with the bliss, and there's a lot of conflict in the car, maybe that's not the best. But if you choose the right person and able to be a person who directs you even better, gives you advice, perspective, support, what you choose to be passengers and what you choose to be passenger in other people cars. Because sometimes it's amazing to put yourself in another person's car and see that they drive much, much farther ahead. And you look into how they're driving. And then you go back to your own car. So I remember how they drew their car. I need to drive the way how they drew that I could end up where they are. It's such a very, very powerful thing to be able to drive in someone else's car, drive the way how they drive, and then end up in exactly the same spot where they are. And I think that's the beautiful thing. The last thing that I want to mention is car maintenance. And that is again self-care. That's partly a little bit of energy as well, recharging. But self-care in a lot of things. That means you need to change, improve your body, mind, emotions. All those things are very, very important to make sure that our car is running smooth. Because if there's no car maintenance, there's no change oils, there's not changing some parts, at some point something could break. So something that's preventative is much, much better than if something breaks, and then potentially that one break of the part starts to break other parts, and then those other parts breaks other parts, and at some point it is almost impossible to fix the car because we avoided a small injury. We didn't fix small mistake, and of course that potentially could end up being a massive injury. So who to reflect as well, because I think that is very, very important to understand that we are own drivers of our car. I really take that seat and say, I want to drive my own car, my life in my own way, with my values, my beliefs, my mindset. I really do that in a way that I have the energy necessary, the mental state, the emotion regulation. I have relationships with people and I have the mentors that I could really learn from their driving. So I could really go far beyond, above and beyond the expectations of my own. I think that's a beautiful thing that you're able to really do the right thing, that you even outperform yourself. I think that outperform yourself is one reason because you just always increase your goals. When you achieve your goals, you increase your goals, and at some point you start realizing that when I started, I never thought that I could achieve this so much. I think that's exactly what you're supposed to seek. Seek what is in front of you, but knowing that when you achieve something in front of you, will be seeking more and more and more. I think that's the beautiful thing. That's the beautiful part of life. There's always more. And I think that that's again one of the most beautiful, important things is that feel content, fulfilled, and have that meaning to pursue big things. I think that's where the true joy is. Feeling content, but at the same time wanting more, not needing more. So when you achieve all your needs, all the needs are met. So that means you feel content because you have all the needs met, but you want more. I think that's the beautiful thing. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.